Yeah, hello everyone, and welcome to the podcast. Let's talk Internet Computer. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Houman Shadab. He's a New York Law School professor. He's the director of the Innovation Center for Law and Technology and a fellow at Stanford Code X and the co-founder of ICME. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Houman, to join us today.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, first of all, as always, I would like to start with a little introduction about you. Could you please to share with us and with the community who is Houman Shadab, your background a little bit, and in your early years in the industry, in the crypto industry, and how it start everything, and you start in the metaverse on the Web3 and working on the projects that you are working on now.
Yeah, happy to. So I am a co-founder of ICME. I am a professor at New York Law School, as you mentioned. In terms of what I'm interested in, I very much love and I hope I'm part of the no-code revolution. I really love the idea that anyone can build software by themselves without venture capital and without having to learn how to code, of course. I think it's a very empowering idea that one of the most important and universally present things, products, services out there, software, solutions, really is accessible to everyone in terms of being creative and building and leading and not just being a follower or a certain mere services provider for what other people hope and dream, that everyone can really build what they dream and what they imagine without any real barriers. And in that sense, it really dovetails for me with blockchain and permissionless technology, because in one sense, no code is the ultimate permissionless technology, because you don't need to wait to take a class on coding, or you don't need to wait until someone gives you money. You can just do it yourself. Go look at some tutorials, get an idea, find users, customers, and go for it. And that's also what's interested me in blockchain over the years. And certainly technology in general is the idea, especially with blockchain, open source software, is that there's something very open and permissionless about it. People can upgrade it and contribute to it. And certainly the idea of Web3, perhaps more specifically, when it comes to people participating and being rewarded for their participation, much more so than is the case now. And certainly the focus is, and the perspective I come from is, a lot of it is legal applications and legal technology, but legal technology is really just a type of business or enterprise technology, which is just a type of software that companies use ultimately anyways. So I think it's very broad based in terms of what I think software can do, what my interests are.
Yeah. Sounds really interesting. Honestly, because this podcast is for everyone, not just for the developers or IT persons. And it sounds really nice that the thing that everyone can build on ICME, everyone can create their own web pages. And this is something like super revolutionary, because I think if you can build that decentralized on the Web3 with no clouds and 100% on chain, and you can build whatever you want to build, like a dApp, web pages, or whatever. This is something like totally disruptive, and yeah, it's really, really interesting, your project. Yeah, just for talk a little bit more about the ICME. It's a no-code, as you mentioned, as no-code builder. It's like a no-code revolution for the running on the internet computer. Enables users to build customized websites, blogs, NFTs, stores, e-commerce, and other content directly on the internet computer. Blockchain, can you, because you are the founder together with Wyatt Beno, right?
Yep, that's right. Yeah. ICME is great, and so lucky to be a part of it. That really Wyatt, he started it. He invited me to be a part of it as a co-founder, and because I love no code, and I love blockchain and internet computer in particular, bringing those together was a no-brainer to really spend my time and effort and energy and passion into. And yeah, certainly blockchain technology is, I guess, probably among the most technically difficult for anyone to build on.
Uh-huh.
Decentralized technology. I think we can all agree with that. And that's why there's not too much no code in that area. And that's why I do think absolutely ICME is the purest form of no code for Web3 or no code crypto, if you will. Because certainly anyone can make NFTs. There's lots of platforms for DAOs. And when it comes to things like pushing things directly on blockchain, not to mention smart contracts, there's very few solutions, and certainly none really for the internet computer, which is a whole different, discussion and an amazing blockchain, because it really is with what, a world computer should be, something that can host websites and then go from there. And that's what ICME is all about, getting people to build on blockchain in a real way, not just the back end, not just a few token transactions or some little piece is automated or something, but really end-to-end building on blockchain, starting with simple websites. And as we continue to build ICME, add new features, things much more like logic oriented things with actions and triggers, which is programming, but also certainly right now with content stored on the blockchain, and the product is also searching those websites with Kinnick, and that's really why it's brainchild, to be sure. Was super exciting to be able to search the front end smart contract canisters on the internet computer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, and yeah, talking about the internet computer, why you choose deploy the ICME on the ICP ecosystem? When you start to know more about the internet computer, and what is the differentiation between ICP for you, in your opinion, compared with other blockchains, with other protocols, and how it helps to deploy in a best way ICME and Kinect that we are going to talk after. But in your opinion, how is developed ICME on internet computer? What is the advantages for you?
Yeah, I mean, if your goal is to build Wix for Web3 or a website builder for Web3, you have no choice but to use the internet computer, because there's really no other protocol that can host front ends, websites, unless it would be massively expensive. I don't even think there's any choice. It's very fit for purpose, just for that narrow purpose of what can host the front end. Beyond that, though, I do think that the internet computer is if not at least a leading protocol out there. There's lots of great technologies, lots of great projects. Who knows what the future is going to hold? But right now, I think ICP is way out in front in many important ways, and it's a great stack to build on.
Yeah, exactly. It's a speedly, no clouds, 100% on chain, reverse gas fee models. Yeah, we have a lot of advantages about deploying on internet computer.
Yeah, and, I mean, it's real. It's there. It works. You can just pay whatever, you pay your 2 ICP and start spinning up websites in a few hours. Not even that. It's already working. There's no question about it. You can start making money. You can start getting famous. You can start changing the world. Whatever you want to do, it runs on chain. Your identity is private. Most of your data is very, very private, and so is your users. So it's real. There's no more hypothetical.
And yeah, in terms of the change the mentality of the people about Web 2 and Web 3, your goal for sure is try to migrate Web 2 users, like you mentioned, like Wix or WordPress and other builder solutions on the Web 2, like centralized solutions. Try to migrate to the Web 3. Try to migrate to other applications that have advantages as a ICME. Which are the strengths of ICME now, and why people should be migrate their web pages or start to create the web pages on the ICME? We talk about the privacy for sure, but in terms of the application, what is the advantages, or why is disruptive, and also it's for sure we talk about no code builder, no code revolution, but in terms in general of the application, what is your thoughts about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, certainly one of our goals, and I think hopefully everyone's goals in Web3 should be to, bridge the gap, bring people that are not in the crypto or Web2 space into it, because I think it's just inevitable. It's the future of technology, and it's good. If it's done correctly, it's good for people, the users, the builders, and everyone else in the ecosystem. And according to that, ICME really wants to bring over people who are building on Web 2 over to Web 3, whether it's migrating your websites or storing your data, storing your files on the internet computer. And the reasons it should be done is really for the privacy, for the security, for the permanence of your websites, for the control and the ownership. And all the benefits of Web 2 also come along with that, including scalability, in a sense being integratable all over the internet. What we're really excited about at ICME, another reason to build on ICME and with it and internet computer, is because of things like HTTP requests. So really now, there's about 25,000 public APIs that are open to anyone building through ICME and ICP, kind of more generally, because the smart contracts can directly call Web 2 APIs, not to mention Web 3 APIs also. So that's just another reason to build on it, to have that secure, to keep one foot in Web 2 if you want to, not have to give up things you like, or at least work for now, and still get the benefits of Web 3.
Great, yeah. And in ICME also is pretty unique, the features about the create NFTs and to start to do a collection of NFTs. Can you share with us why ICME is different to other NFT marketplaces, for example, OpenSea, and also the galleries that you create, or people that can create, is linked to the Entrepot, right? The marketplace, the largest NFT marketplace on ICP. Yeah, can you explain us a little bit more about how it works, the NFTs on ICME, and on how we can
the IC, so we call it IC Mint is the product, but if you mint files as NFTs through ICME, they are stored on the Internet Computer blockchain. They're given unique tokens IDs, unique metadata, and you can, of course, purchase and sell them. They're not connected to Entrepot, actually. They're natively stored essentially on your canister or wallet that you create when you create an ICME account. They can, if not now, eventually be exported to other wallets and other NFT platforms. And what makes IC Mint unique from, I think, anywhere else is the customizability in terms of the design and presentations of the NFTs on the front end. So you can really create a unique NFT store for your NFT collections that doesn't look like anything else. Lots of different NFT platforms, they look very similar in terms of how they present, for example, the JPEGs or the images. There's basically columns and rows, and they have the same size. They have the standard text associated with them, but if you want to make a really unique looking project and customize it to however you want, that's what ICME is for. Second of all, it's very unique in the sense that you can programmatically, through ICME's API, mint anything you want also on the internet computer. And what we did is what that does also is open ICME to Web 2 assets, and allows you to mint anything in your standard Web 2 database, like on Amazon Web Services, or on your hard drive locally. You can mint that file or just data as an NFT as well. So it's very accessible. And what I did was I created an API connection from the most popular one of the most popular Web 2 no-code platforms called Bubble, which is what really got me excited into no-code years ago in the first place. They have an API connector that calls the canister on the internet computer. And what's beautiful now, of course, is that the canister can call back. And that's the only blockchain that can do that. And So that's exciting, and that's what you can do,
Yeah,
and that's
it's
why
very
I think
exciting.
ICME is unique.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, ICME. Yeah, we talked about before. Launched Kinnick, a front-end search engine for the internet computer. But it was a grand champion of the last Supernova hackathon. That's really amazing for me. That's another project that I'm overwhelmed with this project, because honestly this is like an evolution of Google, right? It's like a search engine browser that you can find any information about Web3. For example, yesterday I tried to upload one video in Social. I tried to enter in
Yeah.
Google and see what is the Social web page,
Yep.
and I didn't find anything. And I go to the Kinnick and just write Social, and I find everything that you want to find, articles, dApps, NFTs, collection, whatever is on the Kinnick, and it's fabulous. This is something really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Kinnick, great. And yeah, so Wyatt, co-founder, technical founder of ICME. For the Supernova Hackathon, he entered that project, the search project. And because it's awesome, it's no surprise that it won. He won basically the track he was in, grand champion, and all that. Super exciting. And yes, I think being able to bring something that we all know the internet is capable of, search, to Web3 is amazing. We love it. I think the world loves it. We're rolling out an ad auction functionality actually next week. So in mid-September, the third week of September, on the 19th, 2022. So whenever people listen to this, they know when we're talking. And what's cool about it is, and it's only, again, something only possible because of a smart person like Wyatt, but also because of the internet computer, right? There's nothing really to search. There's no front end on Ethereum in any real sense, or other chains. So it wouldn't really be possible. Now you can search content on like IPFS hosted content, but really it's not the same, and it's static, and they're not real, it's not a true blockchain by any sense, as well. So that's exciting. And the link back to ICME is, if you're going to build sites and build content on blockchain, you want that content, probably not in all cases, but you probably want it searchable and discoverable. And that's what Kinnick provides. And right now, I think a very good strategy for any company or person is to say, hey, I want to be searchable on Web3. So I'll build a website with ICME and then have that website get indexed by Kinnick. And then maybe I'll throw a few dollars into the ad buying also to get that website to be promoted.
Yeah, and also super user friendly. It's pretty easy to find any information, totally decentralized, related with blockchain world and Web3. Yeah, this is like a unique project, and I think it's super useful for all the Web3 community, even for people like start to try to, for example, enter in the NNS, network nervous system, and try to like buy an ICP crypto and try to stake or whatever. You can find everything there, and yeah, that's pretty cool. And other thing that I would like to talk with you, Houman, is about this is pretty new. It's about the NFID, the Digital Identity Protocol on ICP.
Yep.
Yeah, running now on dApps as ICME and others, for example, in OpenChat, the Discovery or Code-Based Labs.
Yep.
Yeah, NFID solved the data leaks problems. Now, for sure, it's pretty vulnerable. In general, the data, our personal information, finance, health, relationships, yeah, in general, personal information that could be exploited by bad actors. And in general, how ICME is implementing this digital identity protocol, and what is the advantages for sure.
Yeah, so one of the main things that we want to do with ICME is, of course, appeal to as wide a possible audience and user base and builder base as possible. So reduce frictions for onboarding and getting on the platform and building. One way to reduce frictions is to make an easy login system that still nonetheless preserves the features of anonymity and digital identity that's portable across platforms on the internet computer. And that's why we also allowed through ICME NFID to be a login option in addition to internet identity, which I understand is the basis of NFID. And the reason it's easier is because you can log in through your Google identity and account and still keep it anonymous and private and everything, which is how NFID works. So we think it's a separate service, to be sure, a separate entity and company. And but we think it's great to use for ICME and to preserve the privacy and the anonymity, with also the usability is really key too. And soon in probably in September this month, if not next month, in October 2022, we will be we'll be making it much easier to become a user, to onboard and log in and sign up and all that good stuff for ICME too. Because one friction point right now, a little bit for some users who are new to the space, is getting their ICP, converting it, sending it to ICME, and then burning it, right? Converting it to cycles and then using it from there. And certainly ICME is a cycle ICP burning engine. You have to convert everything to cycles to deploy your sites, but it's still fairly efficient from that perspective as well. Ultimately, a vision for ICME, Kinnick, as we see with some new products coming out, is content Legos on the blockchain, on Internet Computer, because DeFi was really popular, obviously, on Ethereum. And the reason why it became so successful was because DeFi was fueled by essentially the phrase money Legos, right? Interchangeable, compatible, composable, as they would say, pieces of projects in the DeFi space on Ethereum. And we think that because the Internet Computer can host content on the front end, we should be making content Legos all over the place. So whether it's your identity can log you in anywhere and be portable but still private, or your blog posts, of course, your NFTs, wherever you mint them, you can bring them to other platforms in the metaverse, any metaverse type issue, as well as following people, whatever platform they happen to be publishing on, and then putting their publications in other platforms too.
Wow, sounds really exciting. That's good. Yeah. And also, this is about the ICME and Kinnick. What is the next milestone, or in your opinion, on the long term, in 3 to 5 years, for example? How you think, in general, the perspective, the population is like migrate to the Web3, or you think maybe it's like we are in the earliest moment, in the first stages of these projects, but in 3 or 5 years, you think it's going to implement it, that everybody use ICME or use a Kinnick to search everything there and create web pages and everything on the ICME and Kinnick, or you think it's maybe we need more time to educate in general the Web 2 users to migrate to Web 3 and to migrate all of these apps?
Yeah, our vision is certainly to, as fast as possible, bring everyone to be building on Web 3 and probably the Internet Computer specifically, without writing a line of code, being able to program with visual developer tools like currently exists in the no-code world for Web 2, but now to do with Web 3 and to make it better, to bring all the goodness that Web 3 brings to the world of no-code, and also, in a sense, vice versa. So you can build your websites on Web 3, but you can also build websites that allow users to much more easily monetize their websites, for creators to get paid, to not have to pay hosting services, not have to pay platforms, because in a sense they build their own platforms, and so there's much less of an intermediary, and also to do things with their content that you could only do on Web 3, such as various forms of tokenization, to spin up DAOs that may be and mini DAOs, for example, that may be focused on a particular project or publication of theirs, as well as to get feedback and input, from their audience about what to basically create next. And I think doing that in a way that's very contributor oriented user-oriented or fan-oriented, I think is really going to be exciting and be enabled. As well as, of course, all coming back to things like decentralized Uber, decentralized news services. I think that's really going to be possible through ICME running on the internet computer. Because we're creating a platform not just for users to build their own software, which is already amazing without coding, but users to build their own platforms so others can come and use it as well. So not just to build an e-commerce store, but to build a platform for other users to build their own e-commerce platforms and stores.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly the same model in Web 2, but transferred to the Web 3 and with more features, more possibilities, and yeah, it's totally like a disruptive upgrade, right? It's like an update, but in a big term, and that's pretty cool and pretty amazing. Also, for example, I'm creating like a web page in Web 2 in Wix, for example, or in WordPress. If I want like to migrate to ICME, is it possible? I can get my 3Ws, whatever, and migrate to the ICME now, or this is something like you are working on, or
yes, that's on our roadmap. On our roadmap for probably early next year is to make it easier to export your Wix or other websites directly to ICME and then take it from there.
Okay, sounds good. Any marketing campaign or ads, your idea, because it's decentralized, but you mentioned about how people like can get money like creating like web pages or creating content. Also, you are thinking add any advertisement for the web pages, or is any way that like other companies can promote their business in other pages?
Yeah, that's something we want to enable as well. Certainly our goal is to support whoever is a builder and enable them to make money. And that could include, of course, some type of ads that they may run on their websites that they build, pay-per-view, if you will, pay-per-read features that can cost a fairly small number, but at least it allows the creators to monetize what the value they're building.
Awesome, great. Yeah, that's all for me today. Yeah, maybe the last question is about if I want to open today an account in ICME, if I want to create after this conversation a web page in ICME, you have a guidance or instructions that I can like follow to set up my account. Is pretty straightforward, or is in 10 minutes, 20 minutes I can create my own web page, or how it works for a start to create?
Oh yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, I mean, certainly part of the no-code ethos is that you can do it on your own without separate tutorials. We do have tutorials and guides, to be sure, and we're updating them because we just launched a new refreshed UI. But yes, it's quite straightforward. You log in, you throw some ICP our way, burn it, and then you can start to deploy your sites. And right now it's about 2 ICP for the first month, and then 0.5 ICP afterwards per month for unlimited changes. And then if you want to have it, then you can also pay a little bit more for a 900 gigabyte NFT storage canister. That'll last you quite a long time.
It's super cheap, super affordable for everyone. That's crazy, the prices. Yeah, that's very
absolutely.
Nice. Okay, yeah, thank you so much, Professor Houman Shadab, for staying with us today and explain a little bit more your projects in ICME and Kinnick. I'm looking forward to see in a few months the new upgrades and the new features, and sounds really amazing. I think it's one of the best projects in the ICP ecosystem and in general in the whole blockchain projects. Thank you for staying with us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, your enthusiasm and the kind words. And thanks, Javier. It's been a pleasure to speak to you, and I hope to speak to you soon.
Yeah, okay, hopefully. See you soon. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye.